The border's closed. What business do you have here? Let me see. Okay, all seems in order. But I should warn you to keep your weapons sheathed, and any acts of violence will be met with the full force of the law. You may, of course, defend yourself if you are attacked, but those are the rules. Open the gates.
Yeah.
Move along quickly. There's nothing here that concerns you.
Welcome to the free city of Bruma. No need for that here, friend. Go through the gate, turn right, and follow the road to the blacksmith. There's a stable there if you need one. Go up some stone steps, the keep is right in front of you. You can't miss it. Welcome to Bruma.
Yeah.
Speak.
Yes?
Halt! What is your business here? You'll be lucky. She's never here. Better off checking the tap and tack. Guardian General? General. I was with you at the Battle of Whiterun, Cassius Legion, wounded in battle. Aye, General. It was an honor and a privilege to serve under you. But, as my friend says, Milady Rigmore is not with him. Why didn't you say, pass, General?
requested the Countess's presence at the Imperial City. The Emperor would like to know, no, he demands to know, why the Countess has not made the time to attend. As you can see by my own presence here today, it's absolutely imperative that she does.
I am sorry, Lord Chancellor. I will make sure the Countess learns of the urgency to attend.
One might begin to think the Countess is avoiding her duties to the Empire. One might think Lady Sigyn has become the Countess in waiting, while her daughter...
Enough! Lord Chancellor, mind your tone and manners. Please inform the Emperor the Countess will be forthcoming. I shall personally make sure she attends as soon as possible.
Please do. I would hate to have to find and escort her to the palace myself. I think you understand the gravity of this needless situation only too well. You have 1 week from today to comply. Good day, Lady Sigyn.
Well met. Dragonborn!
Chickens killed by dog.
We have an obligation to protect and serve the descendants of Morgan of Winterhold. Lady Sigyn is in parley.
My lady,
Come.
my dog got into me
We can
fencing
wait
and
in the
killed me
cabinet room.
chickens. I only got 3 left, and I wants paying back, my lady. That's a lie. He's let them chickens run round wild. They came over my fence, my lady.
How many chickens are we talking about?
That'd be 6 chickens, my lady, worth 6 septims, they is. It ain't my faults, my lady. I ain't got no 6 septims. Me auntie, she recently hurt her elbow.
Enough! Jimmy, listen to me carefully. If I hear of your dog again, it will cease to be. Do you understand?
Yes, my lady.
Malisam, take 6 septims from the court purse and compensate the plaintiff.
As you wish, my lady.
Dragonborn! Thank the gods you came! How many years now? Well met. She did write you, you know, but we could never find you. She's fine, you know Rigmore. When we first arrived, it took some time to get used to our new lives. She didn't take too well to living here in the keep. Our old house is now her apartment. I have been left to attend to the more mundane courtly duties, with the help of court advisor Malisam and Master Freathoff.
Ah, Guardian, alive and well. I am so pleased to make your acquaintance once again. I seem to have this preference for cold, wintry places. We feel right at home here, don't we, Keris? Please let me introduce you to Master Freathoff, a scholar and court mage to the Countess.
I have heard so much about you, Guardian. It's good to finally meet you at long last.
Come, let's sit. Help yourselves to refreshments. Well met. Martin Blackwell, Lord Chancellor to the Emperor.
A very dangerous man, Guardian. He heads a very secretive and powerful spy network. Former Lord Chancellor to Titus Mede II, and now does the bidding of the new dynasty. His loyalties lie in the sworn oath to protect and serve the Imperial throne, no matter whose behind rests upon it. He became bitter after failing to find Titus Mede II, leaving a rather long and bloody trail behind him. He blames the Dark Brotherhood and utterly crushed the underground ring here in Cyrodiil. But he is cruel and devious, and we have good cause to fear him.
Before he can be coronated, the Emperor needs Rigmore to sign the noble decree.
Yes, our Bandit King is to bestow upon himself the title of Titus Mede III. Rigmore has yet to sign it, but to do so she would have to enter the nest of vipers. I cannot be sure whether they know of Rigmore's true ancestry. If they do, she would be considered a pretender to the Imperial throne.
Sethius is a common bandit. Although very powerful, he is no noble. As far as we know, Titus Mede II left no living heir. As the noble houses of Cyrodiil bickered and argued, Sethius took the throne by right of combat, as Titus Mede I took the throne from Thules 200 years ago. Rigmore's ancestral link to Titus Mede I puts her in grave danger if Sethius were to find out.
If all she does is have to sign this document, so be it. But we cannot let her go alone. However much I hate what has happened to Cyrodiil, this Bandit King becoming Emperor by right of combat, we cannot change that, and don't want to. When the war happened, Sethius sent envoys. We told them Bruma was a free city. We wanted no trouble. I didn't want a repeat of what happened to Leowyn.
It was virtually razed to the ground, half the populace put to the sword in a shining example of the ruthlessness of our new liege. All the nobles, including ourselves, took a chance of amnesty, laid down our arms, and signed the white gold settlement of the year 203 of the Fourth Era. We were left as a free city only until recently. Sethius now wants us to sign the noble decree as well. Apparently he needs it to legally become part of the Mede dynasty. Bruma is, after all, part of Cyrodiil and the Empire. Free of off.
He was always causing problems here in Cyrodiil. After the disappearance of Mede II, his bandit army grew so big not even the legions could contain it.
His army would attack and plunder at will. The Imperial Court, in absence of the Emperor, sent for General Quintus Vitalis of the Northern Army. By the time Quintus arrived, it was all but over. Sethius had marched into the Imperial City with some 5,000 men. Quintus could not cross the bridge.
The Imperial Court surrendered the city. Quintus was sent with the Northern Legion to the Hammerfell border to protect Anvil, effectively stopping Red Guard nomad bandits from the Brenner River area. You see, Guardian, now there is peace in Cyrodiil. What was destroyed is being rebuilt. There are no raids and attacks on the counties anymore. The bandit army became overnight the new Imperial army. Our only concern is Rigmore's welfare.
But by her nobility, Rigmore is now caught up in this ridiculous power play. We just want her to sign the document and return home. But as Jonte says, if they know, she might not return at all, and we cannot risk the chance that they do. If only I knew. I'll let Jonte fill you in on the current situation with my daughter. I must apologize, Dragonborn. I'm so tired and must retire. Once you've finished here, Carice will show you to your room.
Ah, yes, the errant countess. Rigmore is a law unto herself. I had hoped she might someday take responsibility for her newfound position, but it's not going to happen anytime soon, is it? Really? I'm afraid. You could put it that way, Guardian, but she seems happy when she does grace us with her presence. Of late, she's been spending her time between the Tap and Tack Ale House and the Roxy Inn. The latter is a mile south of this side of Lake Rumar. If she does frequent Bruma, she abodes at her apartment behind the cathedral, 5th house along from the inn in the lower quarter, or the Tap and Tack. You might try there first. Ask about. She keeps unruly company, and of late has been in the company of Count Leowin's son, Robert de Medalius. After the sacking of Leowin and the murder of the Count and his family, Sethius placed one of his trusted henchmen in the Count of Leowin's place. Robert is his son. Sigun and I tried to advise Rigmore that he is not of noble character. We had hoped to match her with the Count of Coral's son, and she took absolutely no notice whatsoever, and did as she always does. Her own thing, essentially. Guardian, as long as she's happy, or as happy as can be considering her traumatic past, we are happy too. However you feel or felt for Rigmore, and I do know you became close, you were, after all, a guardian. Time moves on, but there's something else. Ariel Sethius is a weak emperor. He is not the true power behind the throne. If it were a simple case of escorting Rigmore to the Imperial Court to simply sign the document, I would have sent an escort from the Bruma garrison, which would have sufficed. As you know, as a disciple of my beloved mistress, I have certain privileges and insight, and there is indeed a very real concern Rigmore would be in danger at the court. We believe Sethius's wife is a daughter of Cold Harbor.
Rumors are she is 300 years old, yet her skin maintains a likeness akin to that of porcelain.
We believe she is behind Sethius's rise through the bandit ranks, and ultimately responsible for the usurpation of the Imperial throne. Yes, a vampire. My mistress thinks so. As far as we know, she is never seen in daylight at all. I think Friafoff is better informed to explain further.
There used to be many years ago, but it stopped all of a sudden after the catastrophe.
Continue, Friafoff. It's all right. You have nothing to be ashamed of. Friafoff was tutor to the former Countess of Bruma, Guardian, and can also explain the terrible manner in which the position became available.
For many years I had served the former Count and Countess of Bruma, and schooled their only child, a daughter, in the ways of nobility, etiquette, and math. The Countess lost her husband in a riding accident when... I can't bring myself to say her name. One night, Sophia just disappeared. Oh, we searched. I never gave up. But as the weeks turned into months, the poor Countess became withdrawn. She lost the will to live and died of a broken heart. When Milady Rigmore arrived, she told me all about what had befallen her in Skyrim, how you had rescued Sorella, and how a similar thing that happened to Sophia happened to Sorella. That she, too, had bad dreams, heard voices calling her. I wish I'd taken more notice of the poor child. But that you rescued Sorella after an encounter with a coven of witch devils. After investigating the disappearance of children in Cyrodiil, it stopped altogether about the time the coven was destroyed. Sophia was the last. I fear I must also retire. Recalling this terrible event has taken its toll.
Oh, no doubt at all, Guardian. Rigmore's arrival saved him. They get along very well indeed, and she is rather fond of him. She rarely speaks to me, though, or her mother, if she does come to the castle. She thinks we meddle too much in her life. But she will confide in Friafoth. There must be more to this. Dark sets of events, Guardian. Something that eludes us. To have such powers of recalling, it all ties into my suspicions, but Sethius is not an uncommon name. We could, of course, be completely and utterly wrong. I'll have to conduct some investigations. Hammerfell would be a good starting point. After all, a brood mother must have a brood, and fledglings cannot help but make a lot of noise. I would advise you to rest for a while. If there are more sinister reasons to what's behind the Imperial throne, it certainly won't be anything to do with a young errant know-it-all. But we can't take the chance they know of her ancestry. Keris will show you to your room. I must bid you good night.